In this video, we're going to show you how to install the lower shift boot on your Jeep Wrangler located on top of the transmission shift tunnel. Using a trim tool, I want to go ahead and get underneath the edge of the shift boot. We're going to start on the back side here and gently pry this up. Work this up and peel the rubber boot off here. Work it all the way around. Peel it off and work this off the shifter. We'll go ahead and spin the shifter knob off. Grab that and rotate it counterclockwise here. Take that off. I want to go ahead and remove our little shift diagram off of the knob here. So just going to use a pocket screwdriver. I'm going to go down around the edge here and just pry this up and out. Working your way around the perimeter. And pop your button out like so. I'm just going to set that aside for now. Underneath, there is a nut here. Now when we put this together, I want to make sure that the nut goes on the top here. We're then going to tighten this down onto the shift knob, and once that is then tight, we're going to go ahead and install our shift button on the top so we know where the correct shift pattern is located. Go ahead and slide your shift boot off, set that aside. Now this shift boot itself, I'm going to slide this foam off of the arm. This shift boot is offset to the right hand side. So when we install our replacement unit, you want to make sure that the port here is off to the right hand side. Okay, this moon or notch right here is going to be towards the shifter boot for your four-wheel drive. Inside there are 4 screws. They're 9/32. There's one underneath here. So you're going to push that shifter over, and you're going to access that underneath. There's one down at 6 o'clock, one at 9 o'clock, and one at 12 o'clock. Let's go ahead and remove these here. Now on our screws at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock, ours underneath here at the 3 o'clock position here is actually a Phillips head screw. We're not sure if that is factory or not. On the left hand side at 9 o'clock is a 9/32 screw. We can't actually get to them without removing the console. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to remove this 10mm screw right here beside the shifter. Underneath this front cup holder, there's a little felt pad here, and underneath that is normally another 10mm screw. So you would want to go ahead and remove the screw from there. Ours is missing, but remove that one next. Now with the console lid open down inside, there's normally 2 10mm screws. They're side by side right here. Ours is missing one, and the other screw beside it, well, it's not really installed, so I'm just going to reach down, and that is kind of stuck there. So we're going to try and remove that one. Now on the passenger side of this console, down at the bottom, there are 2 10mm bolts that we need to go ahead and loosen to go ahead and pull that console out. So we're going to grab the seat, slide that all the way forward, pull up on our lever, and swing this up. Now at the base here, there's supposed to be 2 10mm screws here. Ours is missing, but yours should have them. So go ahead, loosen those 2 and remove them. Pull up on our e-brake here. I'll go ahead and lift up on that console. Now we didn't have to remove our console completely from the vehicle. Just tilted that up, give us some access to it. Let's go ahead and remove these 2 screws. Good, peel that up, and we're just going to work that up and off. Work it up through the shifter hole here. Now we install the new boot, make sure that that offset for that port is over to the passenger side. Good, and drop that down. Let's go ahead and get our screws installed. And once you got all 4 of your screws started, go ahead and snug those down. Go ahead and tighten that down. Once that bottoms out, just give it a little bit more. Now that we have all 4 of those down, let's go ahead and lower the console. Go ahead and work your console down in a position. Drop that down and in. Once it's down in a position, go ahead and reinstall all of your 10mm bolts. I'm going to get this one started. Next you want to do is get the one started inside your cup holder. Get the 2 installed inside your console. Once you have those 2 in, install the 2 down at the base of the console. Once you have them all started by hand, we can then come back and tighten them all down. You just want to snug that down gently. You don't want to over tighten it because you can crack the console. Snug it down. Go ahead and repeat that process for the remaining bolts. Slip the damper down. Install your trim bezel. You want to make sure that the position of your shifter itself or your boot is going to be correct. Make sure that the trim bezel has the larger notch here. That is going to accommodate the mounting bracket for the console. Install this into the base of your shifter boot. Make sure that the boot itself is caught on all of the edges here. Slide the boot over the shifter. Now when installing the boot with the trim, you want to go ahead and push that down and in. There's actually 2 locking tabs that go down and lock to the console. And once you have the front pressed in and lined up, just press in the back, snap that into place. Take your shifter knob, line that up, and thread that on. Thread that down until it stops. Now you have a lock nut here. Simply put that in. Get that started on there. We're using a 15mm socket. You want to just snug that lock nut down into place. Want to line up your shift button here. What you want to do is simply work that in, press it down into place. There's a little groove around the inside here. I'm just going to work that in too. You can use your pocket screwdriver and work your way around the perimeter, working this down and into the shifter. And there it is, lined up. Now that you have the component installed, you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.